So let's go 1003063, enter. Nothing happened. He just walked right past us. You don't think that was the code, do you? Hello everybody, I'm Keyin and welcome back to Hello Neighbor. Now today I wanted to do some investigating. If you guys remember, in Alpha 3, there was a hidden QR code. Now, you had to find two pieces to that QR code and then piece them together, and then when you revealed that QR code, it gave you a message. That message was, "Can you see it? Remember, 1003063, I had to hide it. They might find out." Now, there is a lot of mystery around what that message means, but a lot of people have focused in on that sequence of numbers, 1003063. What does that mean, and what can you do with it? Now, a lot of people have speculated and commented on my videos asking me to maybe try some different things to figure out what that combination of numbers means or does. And many had suggested that we go back to Alpha 2 and maybe try using that code in some different places. So that's what I thought we would do today, and basically do some investigating and try to get to the bottom of what this stinking code means, because it is quite mysterious. So, without further ado, why don't we try some different theories with that code? Now, one of the first theories that I started seeing pop up in regards to using that code in Alpha 2 was the possibility that it could open up the second floor of our house. Maybe there is some kind of hidden secret something or other that we have to input that code into. Now, here's what I'm thinking. We just target, you can notice when you target things, the reticle will kind of grow, right? So if we're pointing away from the door and then we target the door, you can see it kind of grows. So that seems to indicate that you're having some kind of interaction with whatever the object is in front of you. So in this case, we have our door, and if we try to open it, it makes that noise, you know, like you can't open it. It's locked. So what I'm thinking is that maybe what we can do is try just looking at the door and try just inputting that command. Now, I'm not expecting a lot from this, but I at least want to try. So while pointing at the door, we're just going to input those numbers. So it's 1003063. Nothing happened. Enter? Nothing happened. Okay. Not entirely surprised by that. Nothing's happening there. Now, there was another very commonly suggested thing to try, and I think we're going to try that next. So, as you guys know, we have the console commands, right? So you can actually input different commands into the console. Now, if we input that sequence of numbers into the console, is anything going to happen? Well, that has been something that a lot of people have speculated about, and I think we're going to try it here today. Again, please don't get your hopes up, but if something happens, how incredible would that be? So let's just try it. 1003063. I made that way more dramatic than it had to be. Now, we just need to hit enter. Command not recognized. Why do you disappoint me like that, game? Ah, man, that's a real bummer. All right, but now we can try something else here. We tried inputting the code while interacting with the door, right? But what if we enter the code while standing in front of the door into the console? This could be a different result. Okay, let's try it here. No, that didn't. Oh man. Let's try again. Nope, it's still locked. It's still giving us that locked sound. Well, that's a little disappointing. All right, so next thing is that we want to try it in the neighbor's house. And there's a few different spots where I want to try it, but namely, one of the most common spots that I think people want to see is if it can access the vault door. What if you could override the vault door's lock with this code? Instead of having to get the key card, what if you could actually input that code to unlock it? That's a theory that a lot of people have suggested, so we're going to try it here, and maybe something will happen. All right, so I'm going to try to sneak in. I think the neighbor is in the bathroom right now, but he might actually be watching TV. No, maybe not. Okay. All right, so let's go to the key card. Now, oh no. How does he not see us? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. That was incredible. I've never done that before. We used the chair to not be caught by the neighbor. That was amazing. Okay, now there's something that is making me think that this probably isn't going to work, and that is, again, looking at the reticle, it doesn't light up when we point it at the key card. So this probably isn't going to work, but we'll try it anyways. Input the code into the console. You know what? Actually, first, let's try it without the console. So 1003063. Enter. Nothing? Man, okay. Try it in the console. Nope. Didn't do anything. Let's try it pointing at this thing. This thing, yeah, they're not interactable, and that seems to throw it out the window pretty quick if you can't interact with an object. Oh no. He finally caught us behind the chair. Hey, we got away with that a lot longer than I ever expected. Okay, so the code doesn't seem to work on the basement door. Now, if we go into the basement, maybe something can happen there. But before we do that, I just had a thought. Now, we have been messing around with the change size command for some time now, and it's been a ton of fun, right? So we can go like that, and then we can go to size 100. Oh, nope, I messed it up. I went too far too fast. We hit the bottom of the basement. But what I was thinking is that maybe that number is some kind of magic number that has some kind of interaction with the game if you change your size to that exact number. So if we put commas into that number, essentially it's 1,003,063. So 1,003,063 is what that number comes out to. So if we change our size to 1,003,063 times the normal size, we can see if maybe something will happen. I mean, we're digging here, but that's the point of investigation. You gotta dig for the truth. So let's try it out. I'm gonna change my size gradually. So change size to 10, and then we gotta go change size. I think change size 50 is our next stop. Okay, there we go. Now we can change size 100. What? All right, maybe we have to go into ghost mode before we start doing this. So let's go into ghost mode. Let's fly up a little bit, fly through our house, fly through everything. Okay, let's change size to 10. Okay, we're gonna fall, go back into ghost mode, fly up a little bit, and then we'll change size to 50. Now, this is the way I've been doing it for a long time, so hopefully this keeps working. Okay, good. We got to 100 finally, so we don't have to worry too much about it. So I think we can change our size to like 500 now, safely. Okay, go back to ghost mode. We should be able to go to 1,000. All right, good. We're making progress now. We can go like 5,000. We could probably go 10,000, but I'm not gonna push it. Okay, ghost mode. Perfect. You guys know the drill at this point. We're going to 10,000. Okay, back to ghost mode. You think we can, let's do 50,000 before we jump to 100,000. Okay, that's pretty good right there. I love seeing the globe. There's the globe that we exist on. Oh man, never gets old. This never gets old. Do you remember how close we were to the sun though when we went to 1 billion? Look at how far away it is now. And we were like right in front of it when we went to size 1 billion. That's awesome. All right, not quite going that far this time though. So let's go to 100,000. Looking good. And I think we can get away with 500,000 at this point. We could probably get away with 1 million. All right. 1 million is going to be our final stop before we get to 1003063. Okay, so let's add one more 0 to that. Okay, there's 1 million. Million times our normal. Oops, I messed up the ghost command. Okay, 1 million times our normal size. We've disappeared. We've gone into the light, and there's no going back. We're definitely getting a lot closer to the sun, aren't we, though? Okay, so here is the question we've all been waiting to be answered. Is 1,363 gonna have any kind of impact on the game? If we change ourselves to 1,363, is anything gonna happen? Let's see. We're gonna find out right now. Enter. Nothing happened. Oh man, well that's disappointing, but you know, since we're here, I figure we're gonna put the number 1, and then we're just gonna hold 0 for a while. We're just gonna do this. Someone has suggested that we basically just talk for a little bit while we hit 0 a couple of times. Not sure what number this is. If you can parse this out and figure out whatever number this is, you're very, very smart. This is 1 followed by a lot of zeros. So since we're already here, I figured we may as well just go as far as we can. I mean, right? Why not? Now, I don't know if we're actually adding zeros to the end. It may not be doing anything right now. I have not let go of the 0 key. I mean, it may still be going. It's off the screen, so there's no way of knowing if it's still going. Still holding the 0 key. Maybe been holding it for a full minute now. So that's a lot of zeros. Not sure how many zeros. I'm not sure what's gonna happen, but it'll be interesting. I'm willing to bet that we'll probably hit the basement. That's my guess. We'll probably hit the basement, reset the game, or the game will just crash. It's the experimentation that's half the fun, right? We did discover though that 1,003,063 has no impact whatsoever on changing our size. There's nothing special about it other than that we're enormous, but it doesn't have any kind of impact on the game outside of making us huge, which is a minor disappointment. But again, this is part of the investigative process. We gotta figure out what's going on. Okay, we've been holding 0, I think, long enough. It's been a full 2 minutes since I started holding 0. Is it still adding zeros to the end? I have no idea. So what can we do? Well, we can let go of 0, which I'm going to do right now. So I've let go of 0. Now I'm gonna hit enter. Okay, 1, 2, 3. What the heck? What? Whoa, wait. What? Oh, we've done this before. This has happened before. We made ourselves so big that it just teleports us into an alternate dimension. No, I don't know. It makes us small again. And it teleports us back down into the basement box. So if this box that is above us, I believe, is the hidden basement portion of the level. So as soon as we break through this, I think that we will be in the basement. Yes, there we are. So we've broken into the basement. Now, since we're here, and since we've been teleported here by the crazy glitch that is adding 1 followed by a billion zeros or whatever, since we're already here, we may as well test out the code down here. Now, there are a couple of locked doors. In fact, there's a door at the end, at the very, very end of the hidden basement that you can't get past. Well, you can get past it, but there's nothing beyond it. It just kind of ends. So maybe, just maybe, we can try out the code on that. I think it's this one right here, right? Yeah, that's the end. Okay, so let's go back into walk mode. So we'll just, oh, that crashed the game. So going to 1 followed by a billion zeros is totally fine, but as soon as you hit walk mode, nope, game can't handle it. Too much to handle. All right, well, let's restart. All right, so we're back in game. We're gonna fly down back into the basement. You know what, actually, I'm gonna use the little teleporter over here. Just go in here and this will take us to the basement. Okay, perfect. And then let's test out the secret code against that final door and see if anything happens in there. We don't want to touch the exit door because that will end the game. But let's just go back to that door and hopefully we can walk. I hope the game doesn't crash again. That would be a real bummer. Okay, we're back at the end of the secret basement. Let's go back into walk mode, please. Don't crash. Okay, thank you for not crashing. Now, same thing as the door that is leading up to the second story in our own house. It's locked and you can't get past it. You can't look through the keyhole and it just makes a lock noise when you try to open it, but you can interact with it. It's interactable. You can see when we put our reticle over it, the reticle lights up. So it is an interactable object. So we're going to try the same thing. We're just going to type the code without any console first. So 1003063, nothing, enter, nothing. Can we open? Nope, nope, does nothing. Oh, man. All right. Well, let's try it in the console. 1003063. Enter. Anything? Really? Okay. Well, none of that seemed to work. It's disappointing. That's disappointing. Now, there was one more theory in Alpha 2 that I wanted to test out that some people had suggested, and that is going to the hidden Alpha 3 house. Now, up until Alpha 3 came out, we assumed that this hidden house was what Alpha 3 was going to look like. We assumed actually that it was kind of like a basic concept for the house that was going to show up in Alpha 3. Of course, when Alpha 3 came out, we discovered that this house is a lot different from what was actually the house in Alpha 3, but there's still a lot of interesting stuff going on in this house, and there is a basement. So, I wanted to test the code against the basement door down here and see if anything happens. Now, obviously, this basement door is a little wonky. It's seen better days. It's a little broken. Oh, we got caught. Okay, well, let's see. I think he always comes around this corner, so we're gonna have to be careful. But, okay, we can interact with it, so let's do it blank first. So let's go 1003063, enter, enter. Nothing happened. He just walked right past us. You don't think that was the code, do you? Does the code make us invisible to the neighbor? How amazing would that be? Oh my gosh, he walked right past us. Okay, well, nothing happened outside of the neighbor walking right past us. So let's try it in the console. 1003006. I don't know. 1003063. Nothing. Okay, nothing happened with this door. And that was pretty much my last idea that I had in using that code in Alpha 2. It does not seem like that code has any kind of interaction with Alpha 2, which is unfortunate, but honestly, we found that code in Alpha 3. So for them to have implemented something that interacts with a code that came in a later version of the game would have been out of the ordinary. I mean, it would have been really cool, but obviously it would have required a lot of foresight, and these are all test systems. Like, alphas, the concept of an alpha is to test a game. So the fact that they're adding what they are adding into the game is really just a bonus for us, because essentially alphas are designed just to test the game, just to make sure that the core concepts of the game work. And so far, we've been getting a lot more than just that. So I'm happy with the results of everything up to this point. Yeah, I'm a little disappointed that the 1003063 didn't have any interactions in Alpha 2, but at least we know now, you know? At least we actually know. This sign always weirds me out too. Can we actually pick it up? We can. This is so weird because this sign never, it doesn't exist in any of the other versions of the game, at least not that I know of. So it's just an asset that only exists in this test environment. Super weird. Super weird. Now, I did do a little bit further digging with Google with that code. And so we're just going to go over to my internet browser. We're going to go over to Chrome. So after typing that number into the Google search, I came up with this community discussion on the Steam Hello Neighbor forums. And this user, Boobity Doop, yep, that's their name. They basically discovered that there was a real estate listing that matched these numbers, and it was a real estate listing that is in Auburn, Washington. Now, if we click on that listing, unfortunately, it has gone away. So we can go to the external site, Windmere Real Estate. They've vacated this listing. Now, does this have anything to do with the traffic they were getting from Hello Neighbor theorists? I don't know, but it doesn't exist anymore. However, I did go into Google Maps and I did pull up the address that that listing was supposed to be pointing to, and I discovered something very interesting. So this is the road, and this is the house that this listing was pointing to. Now, there is a creepy and kind of uncanny resemblance between this house and the house that we see in Hello Neighbor Alpha 2. So, what does that mean? I have no idea, but you have to admit that this is an interesting coincidence. Why is that number pointing to a house that looks so similar to the Alpha 2 house? If we go back into Alpha 2 and we load up level 1 here. Now, granted, this house is a 2-story house. Yes, I'll admit that. But they're both blue, and they both have very similar features to them. The window layout and the yard. I mean, there's some creepy resemblance between this house and the Hello Neighbor Alpha 2 house. But anyways, you can see that there is a kind of creepy resemblance between these two houses. Now, is that coincidence? It could fully be coincidence. But the other option is that maybe there's some kind of historical interesting things that happened in this house. Maybe one of the developers lived here. Who knows? I mean, there's a lot of different theories that we can try and mull over in our brains and try to figure out. If you guys have any theories to add to this, please let me know down in the comments below, and maybe we'll showcase them in an upcoming episode. But anyways, guys, hopefully you enjoyed this episode, our little investigative episode of Hello Neighbor. If you did, be sure to hit that like button, and of course, if you'd like to see more, you can subscribe to my channel. But otherwise, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.